Hey, it's Neil from Gradesavers, and today we're doing question number 57 from section 7.1. The question reads, what is the definite integral from 1 to 9 of 1 over root x times e to the power of negative root x? And since this is in section 7.1, we need to use u substitution in order to evaluate the integral. So let's begin and select a u. Looking at this equation, we'll let our u equal to negative root x. That's what's in the exponent of e. This means that our dx is equivalent to du over the derivative of negative root x, which is simply negative 1 over 2 root x. And if you want to see why that's the case, you can rewrite this as negative x to the half, and the derivative of negative x to the half using chain rule is negative 1 over 2 x to the negative half, which is equivalent to negative 1 over 2 x to the half in the new denominator, which is the same thing as negative 1 over 2 root 2. 2 root x. All right, back to the dx. Let's simplify this a little bit. This will become negative 2 root x du. And what we did was du divided by negative 1 is negative, so that's where this negative sign is in the numerator now, and this 2 root x comes up into the numerator. And before we begin substituting into the integral, we need to change these bounds. These bounds are in terms of the x variable, but our new integral will be in terms of u, so we should convert them. So when x is equal to 1, u is equal to, according to this equation, negative root 1, which is simply negative 1. And when x is equal to 9, u is equal to negative root 9, which is simply negative 3. And now we can create our new integral. It will go from negative 1 to negative 3, 1 over, and we know root x cannot be substituted by u or dx at this point, so it's just root x. E to the power of negative root x becomes e to the power of u, and dx becomes negative 2 root x du. So this is not a subtraction, it's a factor that's negative, but we see right here this root x and this root x cancels out. So this simplifies into the integral from negative 1 to 3 of negative 2 e to the u du. And all we did was we rewrote this negative 2 in front of the e to the u, and then left our our du in place. So this becomes negative 2 e to the u evaluated from negative 1 to negative 3. Whoops, there's a negative sign missing here, so let's add that back. And to evaluate this, we plug in the top number, then we plug in the bottom number, and we subtract the two terms. So this will lead us to negative 2 e to the negative 3 minus negative 2 e to the negative 1. And we can open this negative into this bracket, so it becomes negative 2 e to the negative 3 plus 2 e to the negative 1. And we can factor out a positive 2, so we are left with negative e to the negative 3 minus, plus e to the negative 1. And we can rewrite this as 2 e to the negative 1 minus e to the negative 3. Now, I personally think you will get full marks at this step right here, but in order to match the answer at the back of the textbook, you got to take these 2 extra steps and factor. And that's it for this question. Hey, thanks for watching. Grab the PDF from below, and remember, the best way to study is to join the Gradesavers review sessions.